Man, y'all gotta see this. This is awesome. Oh my God. Look at where Kel'el Ware caught this basketball, man. He caught that lob from Hame damn near above the square. This is beautiful to watch, man, as he slams it in. What a refreshing basketball player to watch. Listen, I'll tell you, it's fun watching this sport when your team has a true 7-footer, an athletic one at that. Like, what the hell was Erik Spoelstra doing not playing this guy Kel'el Ware earlier in the season? Because he's awesome. He is exactly what this team needed, and he just does something that I haven't seen in so long. I'm sorry, I get excited seeing it. Now, this particular play was actually kind of funny because if you watch it all the way through, Jaime Jaquez got nailed in the face right there. But Jaime actually played pretty good today, so shout out to him. But anyways, shout out to the Heat in general for coming away with a win today. 119-108 versus New Orleans Pelicans. A game that was kind of boring, but I think that's a good thing because this Pelicans team, they kind of suck right now. Obviously, they're missing Zion Williamson. They're missing Brandon Ingram. So the Heat needed to take care of business, and that's exactly what they did. Now, it wasn't a blowout or anything like that, but they literally led start to finish, never trailed in this game. And anytime it got a little bit close in the fourth quarter, the Heat were there to make a big shot to not let the inferior team ever think that they were in it. So to me, that's the definition of TCB. Took care of business today. So kind of want to go through the game a little bit, and then we'll go through the box score because although the game itself wasn't super interesting, it did have a lot of things that we were looking forward to watching out for, in particular Jimmy Butler, because, of course, he did return today. He returned to the starting lineup, and with Duncan Robinson back as well, the Heat went back to their, their normal starting lineup. It's hard to say if you have a normal starting lineup when you've had a carousel of injuries for the last 6 years. So who the hell knows what their lineup is at this point? But they did go with Herro, Duncan, Jimmy, Haywood, and Bam. They got off to a really, really great start. Tyler Herro in particular. Listen, I dropped the video yesterday sort of reacting to Brady Hawk's breakdown of Tyler Herro versus the Rockets and just how he's an immensely improved player this season. And in that video, I talked about how great his left hand has looked this year. And that's a huge reason why his finishing at the rim has just improved greatly compared to last season. And then today, as the Heat go up 7-0, Tyler Herro drove in the lane and put a left-handed floater up. It looks like he's just trying things out there now, and he's still getting it to go. Now, that particular play is something that a lot of people might have not have noticed, but Tyler Herro was never pulling out a left-handed floater before this season. He wasn't doing it. And in this case, it was absolutely necessary. He was being guarded by DeJounte Murray, who he used to be a great defender, but Murray is still definitely a serviceable defender, although he's not what he used to be. But Tyler Herro did do a nice move to get past DeJounte Murray and then was able to use his shoulders to kind of barricade Murray on the right side, meaning that he had to go up with the left hand to prevent it from getting blocked. And he did go to the floater kind of in that short, 5 to 6 foot area to get it over the Pelicans big man in the paint. So it's just a play that I want to note again of Tyler Herro, of his constant improvements. And it's little things like this, which is why his inside scoring has got a lot better, which is also making his outside scoring get a lot better because now they know they have to guard Tyler Herro inside. But I just wanted to show him some love off the bat because he was awesome today. But then you get your two boys, your twin towers, whatever you want to call it, check into the game. Nikola Jovic and Kel'el Ware, they were trying to break out the werewolf nickname today. I kind of rock with it. Maybe we'll get some werewolf sound effects or something. Let me see if I remember when I'm editing.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, there we go. We got to think of some kind of slogan for Kel'el Ware. But anyways, he came into the game, and like usual, when him and Jovic check in, they look great together. And this time you had a really great stretch by Kel'el Ware. Got an offensive rebound put back just because he was big. He was the tallest guy on the court, so he was able to get the rebound. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying he's a refreshing player, because that's the type of move that always happens against us. The other team just gets these extra points because they are bigger, but that's not the case with Ware out there. And then it was the next possession where Ware grabbed the rebound at the top of its apex, something that we're seeing him do consistently. And if you're not paying attention to it, you might not notice. But if you've been watching Heat basketball for a long time, you definitely do. It's like the other team at points has no chance of getting an offensive rebound because Ware is catching the ball 12 feet in the air. it's just beautiful to see. It makes me happy as a Heat fan. And then after Ware got that rebound, he walked into like a transition three. Just beautiful basketball. He's playing with such a confidence at this point. You can see the growth and I guess his confidence since the season started. He just looks so much more poised out there and looks like he knows where to be on the basketball court, which of course is going to come with experience. Now, maybe that's why Spo didn't want to play him earlier, because he didn't exactly know what to do yet. But I think the best experience is actually doing it. So obviously now that Kel'el Ware is certainly a lock for this rotation, he'll keep getting this experience, and I think he'll continue to look better every single game. There was another great play that Ware finished where Jovic had the ball in the post, was backing his dude down. We talked about this in the last couple post games as well, where Jovic is 6'10". He's known as sort of a shooter. You know, he can be a bit of a guard at times, a big guard, but he does know how to take advantage of a mismatch in the post. That part is critical because when you are playing Jovic with Bam or with Ware, you do have truly two big men and not just a 6'10" guy who stands on the perimeter. Because I've heard a lot of Heat fans say, for example, they want Kelly Olynyk back to get some size. Kelly Olynyk does not provide size just because he's 6'11". He doesn't touch the paint. Where a guy like Nikola Jovic has worked on that post game a lot this year, has the jump hook, and then in this case, when he got doubled in the post, he found Jaime Jaquez on a cut, who found Kel'el Ware, who just got up tremendously high to slam it in. That was beautiful basketball. And as a Heat fan, you have to be thrilled because that's your last 3 first-round picks working in sync together. You could see the future before your eyes, and it's beautiful to watch. It truly is. But then you had some more Tyler Herro moments, man. Herro missed like his first 4 threes, and then he had an accidental one where he tried to throw a lob to Jimmy Butler that went in. It went in the hoop. Jimmy kind of reached his hands back because he knew the ball had a chance of going in, and it did. Part of the reason that was funny is because, like I said, Herro had not hit a 3 to this point, but that was his first one. And then another reason it was funny is because if y'all remember, a couple years ago, Herro did the same thing. He was trying to, I forget who the opponent was a few years back, but he was trying to throw like a half-court lob to Jimmy, and the pass was so bad, or I guess so good, that it went right in the hoop. So how many players do that ever, let alone a guy do it twice? So that was pretty funny. But anyways, the first half for the Heat was, I think, it was a positive one. I know they were only up 5 at halftime, but that's because Trey Murphy was going absolutely berserk, had 25 points. That guy's a good player. He could shoot his ass off. I'm a big fan of him. But the Heat were up as much as 17 in the first half. They had a lot of good offensive rotations. Although Jimmy Butler might have only taken like 2 shots at that point. One of them was a one-legged 3, which some of Heat Twitter was very annoyed about, but I just looked at it as Jimmy trying to get a shot up because he didn't get one up yet. I don't think Jimmy was coasting or trolling because on defense, he was very, very active, and he was a critical part of all those defensive rotations that the Heat were doing in that first half, which allowed them to be up the entire time. But anyways, you go into that third quarter, and basically the Heat continued playing very, very well basketball. I mean, Duncan Robinson got a shot going. Jaime Jaquez played really well. You saw him get back to his game, taking the phase, going up and under dudes, actually finally hit another three-pointer today after it being a few games. So they really played great team basketball. And in the fourth quarter, I think it might have got as close as like 7, but Tyler Herro kept making plays, man. I think his playmaking was awesome today. And then Bam Adebayo had finished with, 7 or 8 assists? We'll look at the box score in a minute. But he was awesome too. And it was Bam down the stretch that had like 3 straight mid-range jumpers to really shut the door on any chance of a Pelicans comeback. So you love to see that confidence from Bam Adebayo because he's been struggling offensively. So it's nice to know that he still got that in him. And it was also nice to see Bam go back to his mid-range because he did have a lot of mid-ranges today. So that was cool to see. I wish he would keep doing more of that. But we'll go through the box score real quick here. Of course, the guy that everyone wants to talk about is Jimmy Butler. I'm not going to read too much into the numbers because if you didn't watch the game, you might be concerned because he only had 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Only took 5 shots, made 3 of them. But he played 25 minutes. I think half of that was because the game was really not in doubt. It was never really too close because in that fourth quarter, the Heat were up about 9-10 the whole time. Spo did decide to bring in Bam with like 6 minutes to go, but he decided to keep Jimmy off the bench, so Jimmy did not play in the fourth quarter at all. So part of the reason is because the game didn't get too close, and another big reason I think is because the Heat play tomorrow. They play the Indiana Pacers at home. Of course, that team, although they're kind of struggling this year, they always give us a dogfight. And I think if you're able to rest Jimmy a lot of today's game, only play 25 minutes so he can conserve his body for the back-to-back tomorrow, I think that's absolutely the right move. But watching the game, I don't feel like Jimmy Butler was coasting. And I do think that he was, or we know he was legitimately sick. We've heard from a number of sources. He did look like he lost some weight. So obviously after missing 10 days, you're going to need some time to get the rust off of you. But I was very happy with what he did on the defensive side today. And to me, that's a sign of good effort. So we'll see what Jimmy brings tomorrow and what will likely be a way more competitive game. Hayward Highsmith today, you didn't have the offense, but he's continuing to be a great starter. Nothing of note there. Bam Adebayo was sensational, though. I see now he was also 1 rebound short of a triple-double, had 23, 9, and 10 with 2 steals. Finally, got some good efficiency from him, 9 of 14 today. But he was good, man. He was really, really good, had his confidence back on the mid-range. I don't know why that goes in and out with him, why his touch around the rim goes in and out, why some days he has great hands and sometimes he doesn't. I just want to see some more consistency from Bam. I'm not asking for 1 rebound shy of a triple-double every game, certainly not. But just play ball with a little bit more confidence and yeah, man, make your layups. I guess that's what I got to say about Bam. But he was great today, so I'll give him credit. And I'm certainly not giving up on him as a player at all. Just let's see these more positive offensive games more consistently is all. Duncan Robinson today, after missing a few games, what I think some foot inflammation, was very, very good today. 17 points, 7 of 13 from the field. He was a part of the reason where in the first half, the Heat offense was really clicking because he also had 3 assists today, but just his ball movement in general was awesome. Whether he got credited for the assist or the hockey assist, I mean, he was finding Bam Adebayo on pick and rolls. He was finding other guys just cutting back door, and then guys were finding him coming off screens. There's just a great synergy in the offense with Duncan in there because he's such a great off-ball player. I'm sure he is damn near top 5 in the league in like miles run per game or maybe per minute because he doesn't play as much minutes as some other guys. But he's a guy who is always moving out there when he's on the court. He doesn't just sit in the corner. And when you have a guy without the ball that continues running like that, is always a threat to catch the ball off a curl and then dump it off back to you or catch it off a screen and put it up right away because his release is so quick. It just adds a whole dynamic to this offense that I think people are underrating. I've seen Duncan Robinson thrown in a lot of trade packages as salary filler. And I just think, which I'm not saying Duncan's untouchable, but let's just not underrate what he does to this offense, whether he's putting up 17 points or not. And if you watch the game today, you could see the gravity that he pulls with and without the ball. So I just wanted to shout that out as well. But Tyler Herro today, another great scoring performance, 11 of 22, 32 points, a board, and 4 assists. Obviously, you had no Terry Rozier today, so Tyler certainly got a little bit more run, got 40 minutes tonight, and he was awesome. Go vote for Tyler Herro to be in the All-Star team. Case closed. Off the bench here, really everyone played well off the bench. Every single person was a plus, except Nikola Jovic, who was a 0. Maybe part of that's because he does have these games with some really dumb turnovers. Today he had 4 of them, which is not great. But it's because he's trying to do a little bit too much out there because he is so skilled as a ball handler for his position at least. But obviously he's 21 years old. That'll come with the territory. I like that he has the confidence to sometimes try things out there and push pace, although it might end in a turnover once in a while, because he still finished with 7 rebounds and 6 assists today. And that's obviously outside of the 8 points, hit a couple of threes today as well. So last game, I think he actually had 18, 7, and 6. So today he had 8, 7, and 6. So that's just awesome to see the young kid really doing everything out there. And he continues to string together these great games. We'll say it every time. Alec Burks today got you 6 points in 19 minutes. I wonder how much he'll play now that Jimmy is back, and obviously Terry will be back next game as well. I think a lot of his minutes, he'll still get a lot of his minutes because of Drew Smith, obviously. Burks, I think we all like Burks. He seems to make an impact when he plays, but I don't think the minutes were there for him with Drew Smith healthy. But of course, now that Drew Smith just got his Achilles surgery, Burks will probably still get, his run. I don't know if he'll get close to the 20 minutes like he got tonight, but it'll be interesting to monitor. And then Kel'el Ware, we talked about how awesome he was. 10 points, 5 rebounds for him in 16 minutes of play. 4-4, perfect from the field, hit a 3, and it only shows him for 1 block, which was a nasty one. but boy, did he affect a ton of shots out there. Even DeJounte Murray hit a floater on him, but Murray must have put that ball 30 feet in the air because Ware soared to block it. So give DeJounte Murray credit for hitting that, but more times than not, guys are missing that shot, and that's because of the deterrence that Kel'el Ware provides. But then I guess you have Jaime Jaquez, the last guy here. We said he had a great game, and the numbers show it. 5 of 9 from the field, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. So great game for the Heat. Tomorrow certainly is a big game because I'll take a look at the standings real quick. I'd imagine the Heat are very close to the Pacers. The Heat are 17-14, and the Pacers, wow, the Pacers are 16-18. I did not realize that the Pacers fell down that below. So the Heat do got a 4-game advantage on the Pacers. But that being said, that team will always play you tough. It'll be interesting to see how the Heat respond. They got a relatively easy stretch of games coming up in the next several. And I think most of them are at home too. We'll pull up the schedule here real quick for y'all. Because if there was ever a time for Heat to go on a run, it'd be right now. They got Indiana tomorrow, Utah on Friday. And then they got Sacramento, Golden State after that. So it'll be tough. But I was going to say win the next 2 at least. Then that'll put you, 5 games over. But 1 game at a time, as Eric Spoelstra and every other good coach will say. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. Hey, if you made it to this point of the video, double check to see if you're subscribed because I'm less than 90 subs away from 6K. It's crazy to think about. All the support is greatly appreciated, so leave your thoughts down below as well. I'll be reading every single comment. Like the video too, because it helps the algorithm, and I'll see y'all with tomorrow's post game. Peace out, y'all.
Look, pull up in the city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.